Hello everyone, welcome to Blue TV and Boomstocks, and today I'm joined by Tama, who will be Team Vision tank for the stage 3 of EMEA RWCS. Tama, how are you today?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm good. Really, second interview, of course, so need to get used to it a little. So you saw a bit the topics earlier, we sent it to you. We're going to go through a bunch of topics. Obviously, first one, which I would like to go through is the off-season, also the last season that you had with Team Vision. First thing, obviously, anything to say about like last season? Is it was it a challenge, firstly, to get that first place in EMEA Master?
I personally think the biggest challenge in FACEIT Master was to just stay locked in, so to speak, because honestly 90% of the games are not really that challenging. It's more like to actually keep improving and keep focusing on improving at yourself, even though if like for some of the Korean pros maybe not the most exciting to play in the FACEIT League, but I think you saw we had like a hiccup in the playoffs against Anamo, for example, but if we just lock in, there was like no way we should realistically lose or get anything other than first place. So it went well.
So basically, the mistake against Anamo should not have been happening, right?
No.
Okay.
I think that was more like not putting in the work and then maybe egoing them a little bit too much.
Okay. That's understandable. I mean, you have great players. That's something that can happen, I guess. At the end of the day, the important is the result. Of course, you've had I'm not going to say weird off season because you had to post an LFT. I mean, obviously you were looking for for opportunities. What did happen during this off season for you? How did you end up?
It was more like I was pretty happy with Vision, and they were happy with me. It was more like I didn't have a contract at the time, so it was just to see what's out there. Maybe get other offers as well. Maybe just like getting more offers and being able to argue about the contract a little bit more. But it was never. I never planned on leaving Vision realistically, unless there's like a top team that randomly needs another tank. But yeah. So it was more like just looking around to see other offers, but I'm pretty happy with Vision, to be honest.
Okay, that's cool. That's good news. Did you add some multiple options, or was like Vision the actual serious offer that you ever got this offseason?
No, I think Vision was the no-brainer.
Okay.
Let's just say that.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Everything is said for the off season. About the practice, maybe that you have with Vision, the roster has been changing a little. How long have you been playing with this 5? I mean, no, a bit more than 5 actually. I think you're 7, right? In the roster with Qadsiah, Skyle, and One. How long have you been playing together?
We started playing maybe 4 days ago. Like on Monday, we had the first scrim, and then obviously that was more like a warm up because the really big patch hit on Tuesday. So realistically, we only scrimmed yesterday on the new patch for 2 blocks. So it's this week really that we started scrimming.
And so how do these scrims go with the obviously introduction of Qadsiah, Cookie, Skyle, or did they fit in the team now?
It's more like for Chaos and One, they're more planned as like a backup because they play actively for the Saudi League roster with Prophet together. So we're just mainly playing the main like 5 players with me and Skyle. But yeah, it's been going pretty well, I think. Obviously, we're experimenting a lot, and we haven't scrimmed any of the top 3 teams yet. And obviously, we're gonna play against Genji and Qadsiah soon, so we're not really scrimming them either. So it's pretty much just us and PEPS scrimming each other. So, but yeah, it's been going well, I think.
Would you describe PEPS as the big rival of Team Vision already for this season?
I don't know if I would say rival.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should, if everything goes as planned, we should confidently beat them. It's more like for us, the goal is more to break into the top 3, I think, and not to be stuck in this middle tier with like 4th, 5th, 6th place.
Okay. You kinda answered it earlier, but like with your 3 players backline, obviously One, Skull, and Violet, I was about to ask you how would they fit together, but then you basically answered that One would be mainly focused on the Saudi League. So do we have not to accept him to play in the WCS this season?
I mean, maybe, but Skull and One have like pretty similar hero pools.
Mm-hmm.
So unless something like changes and suddenly like One, for example, is known for his like Baptiste and stuff. But since there's a lot of dive maps and we need like Ana, Kiriko, maybe Wuyang, I think we're gonna be playing mainly with Skyle and me. But yeah, we have One as a backup as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's important anyway to have backup in case you face any problem. You just talked about Wuyang. Does really maybe already have a big importance in the scrim, in the composition? Like, how do you feel about the character?
He does a lot. It's kind of a question mark if he can live. That's like his biggest issue. He has like a lot of damage output. He's like threatening on long range. Has like some burst healing with the wave and CC as well. But we're trying to figure out if he can actually live against those like Lucio Diva, which is like pretty common in the EU. So that's going to be a test. And if that works out well, then I don't see why Wuyang wouldn't be played like a lot next stage.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he looks pretty strong. I know that a bunch of teams are actually expecting him to be important in the new meta. Also, important thing in your Team Vision, obviously, Choi and Violet, you obviously already worked with them last season. We would like to know, how is it to work with these kinds of players?
I think online it was kind of rough because you can't really. There's obviously like a little bit of a language barrier, and you can't get to know them as well through online. But they were like way, nicer more, and hardworking than I expected, because you hear like a lot of maybe negative things from mixed teams sometimes. But I've honestly not experienced like any of that. I think the Koreans are like really working hard on communicating and trying to get on the same page, even like between the scrims. So we don't really have a lot of these problems that some mixed teams have.
And what about Anamo? Obviously, your coach, also a big Korean player, at least in Overwatch League. Is it different from maybe EMEA coach that you're used to?
I mean, I'm not really used to coaching, so it's like
okay, well, that's fair.
It's he doesn't speak much in the scrim. Like he gives you like 1 or 2 points after the map, which is like really helpful just to help you during the scrim. But you get like more detailed feedback after the scrims. I think he's managing it pretty well with like the amount he says and just like the important pointers he brings instead of arguing for 5 minutes between maps maybe. So that's something I'm used to from the EU coaches potentially. But yeah, I think he's pretty good, honestly.
Okay. He's maybe the best coach we've ever worked with. Would you say that?
I mean, yeah. But
okay.
I haven't had many coaches, but yeah, definitely.
From the one that you already have, maybe he is. Maybe he isn't, apparently he is. About the new packs, obviously we just got a new patch really recently. how did it affect maybe your champion pool, or did it affect your team and maybe your vision of the meta?
I think, I mean, we've had 2 days now, so maybe there's like a lot of uncertainty still at what's good, but like the hard facts are that Ram is worse, Sim is worse, and Cass is worse. So in theory, all the heroes that struggle into these characters should perform better, which doesn't mean that Sim, Diva, Cass is not like, doesn't mean that this becomes unplayable, but there's options for counterplay now, definitely, I think.
Mhm.
And before I got to Vision, I was primarily a dive tank player, and now I picked up like the Ram and the Risa and a little bit of Diva and stuff. And I think we will find options. Like,
Yeah.
I'm confident in that.
Yeah. Maybe a return of the Winston. Would you like that, Tama?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
more than happy to have a Winston be relevant again, to be honest.
Of course. That's basically everything about the practice and the new meta. Now let's head to the expectations, obviously, of this OWCS season. What are the goals of the team, and obviously your goals as well for this stage?
I mean, I personally want to, like, the first step is to get into the top 3. I think for me personally, it's more like to prove my place in OWCS, that I can be one of the best tanks in the league. I think as a team, we have people that want to win it all. I think like it's weird to say that we want to win it all when there's teams like Qadsiah and Twisted Minds and VP at the top, and we literally just come from relegation. But I think our team has really, really high expectations and high hopes for the stage. So I think I would be happy with top 3. I think the team would be happy with top 3 as well, and potentially winning. But
yeah, okay. Maybe among these top 3, which team would you see being top 4? I mean, after this stage, obviously.
It's hard to say that any of these teams are not top 3. To be honest,
you had to take one out at some point.
We have to get one of them. I mean, I guess Qadsiah got like Chase Torch recently, and maybe they fumble with that, with trying to play like 2 different tanks, and then they split their playtime. Like we saw with VP a little bit, that they struggled to adapt at the start, but now VP is really good. So it's, I don't know. Maybe we can take. I mean, VP got Qadsiah as well now, so I don't know. All 3 of them, maybe.
I mean, yeah. At some point, yeah, just take all of them out and take the first place instantly. Why not? I guess. You talked a bit about Qadsiah, maybe the fact that they kind of fumbled for the Chase recruitment. You're going to face them for the opening week. Maybe you have anything to say about those matchups already?
I mean, I don't know at all what they play. I know that they have like really, really smart players and coaches that can adapt, and they're gonna play what's best for them. They're not gonna stick to like their meta, so to speak. Like we see with Sia just playing Diva into Ram and they just win. So they might be like the toughest team to beat ever, because they have so much flexibility and they're really good at adapting. So it's gonna be a hard game, I think. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's higher level. It's a bit of a shame that you kind of only faced Team PEPS during this stream, but yeah, you told us a bit about this specific team earlier. The fact that, yeah, I mean, you should be able to beat them. And also the fact that you were trying some things. Maybe you have already a favorite composition from what you've seen.
I mean, from our teams and from what we've heard from other teams, Wuyang is getting like limit tested a lot. Like if he can live in these close range maps as well. So like Wuyang can be good with double flex, like Wuyang Kiri, Wuyang Ana, potentially. Maybe even Wuyang Break if Diva like becomes a big problem. But what I think is like uncertain still is if the enemies just play Lucio Kiri and the Lucio presses Q and amps for like 15 seconds straight, if you can lift that on Wuyang, that's like a big question mark still. Because we have, of course, not played the really, really good teams yet. So, but if that turns out to not be that big of a problem, then I don't see it. Or we can't get away with some double flex as well, which is arguably pretty good for our team.
Okay, yeah, I mean, obviously, it is with the backline that you have, Violet, obviously, being kind of everything support, I have like to say.
Yeah.
Maybe for the last question, Tama, do you have anything to say to the Team Vision fans that are watching the interview right now?
Honestly, I'm really grateful. I've received like so much support from the Vision community, and I hope you support us. I hope you watch your WCS and cheer for us.
Thank you for this nice words, Tama. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this interview. This was Boomstocks, joined by Tama for OWTV. Have a nice day.